Welcome to this Locum doctor training on using eMeds in Meditech. We will cover how to view current medications, adding allergies, height and weight, viewing when a medication was last administered, medication ordering overview and medication conflicts, ordering scheduled medications, ordering PRN medications, ordering stat dose medications, ordering IV antibiotics and IV fluids, hold, stop or resume a medication, the discharge process, where to find Meditech resources, and the prescriber declaration. Please note, the layout and menu options in Meditech may differ in the live system due to system updates and/or enhancements. You can simply click on your patient's name to open their chart. By default, the chart opens on the Summary tab. Click on the Medications tab. You can see all of your patient's medications here, and you have the option to click on a medication to review the detail of the order. When you're finished, click Close on the top right of the window. You can change the medication view by clicking on the current selection on the top right. In this instance, we are in the current visit. Clicking here reveals a menu. The first available option is Current Infusions Titrations. We can now review this information. When ready, go to the current view again to reveal the drop-down menu. You can review the other view options, and you can also go to the MAR, which is the patient's medication administration record. We can review the information here, and when done, we can click Close on the top right, which will return us to where we were on the chart. Once your patient's chart is open, click on Allergies in the reference panel on the right side of the screen. Search for an allergy by typing the first few letters into the search field. As you type, this will generate a drop-down list. You can select the correct item or drug from the list. You are required to complete two mandatory fields. The first is the allergy type, and the second is the allergy reaction. Once done, click anywhere outside the pop-up window. Your allergy has been added. Continue adding as many allergies as you need, and when you are completed, you can click Save on the top right. The allergies you have just added are now visible on the patient's reference panel. To add the patient's height and weight, from the patient's chart, click on Menu on the top black banner and click on Clinical Data. Now you can go ahead and record the patient's height and weight, the height in centimetres and the weight in kilograms. When done, click Save on the top right. The patient's height and weight are now displayed on the reference panel. If you try to open orders for your patient and this data has not been added, you will get this prompt to complete. Click on Enter Clinical Data to enter the height and weight. Click on Enter Allergies to add the allergies, as previously shown. To view when a medication was last administered, I will demo 3 ways to see this. First, from the Summary tab in the patient's chart, there is a widget available called Current Medication Administrations Last and Next 24 Hours. If you do not see this widget, you can click on the cog icon and search for it and add it. For a more detailed view, go to the Medication tab and click on the medication name. The MAR Doc tab will display the history of the medication's administration. And just to reiterate, MAR stands for the Medication Administration Record. You can also go directly to the MAR via the drop-down menu. This shows the medication administration date, time and dose, and you can view up to 5 days into the past by using the scroll function. Please note, ICU remains on paper and the anaesthetic record in theatre. Also remaining on paper are PCAs and syringe drivers. Please note, your order needs to be either PO or IV. You cannot make a PO/IV order in Meditech. Please note, all orders placed in Meditech are checked for conflicts, first with patient allergies and then any conflict with current medications prescribed, and you will be alerted if there is a conflict, which we will demonstrate. From the status board, ensure your patient is selected, then go to the top black menu bar and click on Orders. From this screen, you can view current orders, including any medications that are on hold or discontinued, as indicated in the status column. Click Enter to place a new order, and then start typing the name of the medication into the search field. In this example, we are looking for pantoprazole 40 mg by daily. Click on the name of the medication to open the order options. Then you can put a check into the box next to the order you wish to place. You can review and amend the fields that populate here without opening the full order. As an example, if I click on BD, I can change the frequency to QID, as shown. You can also change the dosage from here, or you can change it from a scheduled to a PRN medication, in which case you will need to select a PRN reason. I have amended this order back to BD scheduled. You can click here to edit the start of the first dose and to edit the start date and time and add a stop. When the text is in green, you can submit the order. However, you can also open the order by clicking the down arrow to check all the pre-populated fields. This is another way you can check and edit any of the fields of the order. When ready, click Submit on the top right and enter your PIN to sign for the order. The medication will now appear on the MAR for the nurses to administer. Please note, dose ranging is a work in progress and updates will be communicated once completed. The demos in this video are of the current process. Now we're going to order PRN oxycodone 7.5 mg. Endone is on the list of medications that can be ordered by brand, so we will do that here by typing Endone into the search field. Click on the medication name to reveal the order options. We are selecting 5 mg QID. As previously demonstrated, the fields at the top of the order can be edited. We can amend the dose from 5 mg to 7.5 mg. We cannot select a dose range, but we can amend the frequency. Here, we are going to change to Q4 hourly. Now, we can change from schedule to PRN, and we will need to select a reason. We're selecting pain. Click on the down arrow to open all the fields of the order to review. Label comments will be visible on the MAR for the nurses to read. We can also add a maximum dose in the max dose field. The nurses will be alerted as to which dose they are up to, and the medication will discontinue after the last dose has been administered from the MAR. The red conflict banner alerts us there is a conflict with this order. We can click on the banner to resolve it or go ahead and submit the order and resolve it then, as Meditech will not allow you to place the order until it is resolved. After reviewing all the fields, you can go to the top right and click on Submit. If there is a conflict with an allergy or another medication, it will display here. You can review and override this conflict if needed. Then you can enter your PIN to sign for the order. The order will now show under current medication orders and will display on the MAR for the nurses to administer. To demonstrate ordering a stat dose, I'm going to search for tramadol as my example. Click on the preferred medication, then tick the checkbox to select the order. To order this as a stat dose, you will need to change the frequency. You can do this without opening the full order by clicking on the frequency and typing stat and selecting stat. The order now changes to a stat order. Alternatively, you can open the full order by clicking on the down arrow and changing the frequency field from here. Once completed, click Submit on the top right. In this instance, we have a conflict with the buprenorphine patch. However, it is on hold and we are overriding it. Then you can enter your PIN and sign for the medication. Please note, stat medications discontinue in Meditech as soon as they are administered. From the Orders screen for your patient, click Enter. Then start typing the name of the antibiotic you wish to order. In this instance, we are looking for Piptaz. Click on the medication to open the order options. Then check the box next to your selection. We can see from the red text that there are mandatory fields that need to be completed before we can proceed. Click on the down arrow or chevron to open the full order. Here, you can review the auto-populated fields, including the start date and start time. Then, you can scroll to locate the mandatory fields, indicated with a red asterisk. The Antimicrobial Stewardship Protocol is visible here, with the list of approved clinical indications. I'm using sepsis as my clinical indication example, and entering yes to the indication meeting approved restrictions. If your indication does not meet the approved restrictions, select no, then consult with the AMS team on the extension shown. You can then enter the details into the comment box. If outside business hours, you can put a note here and fill in the details once you have been able to speak with the team. Once you have reviewed your order and completed the fields, click Submit on the top right. There is a renal warning conflict message, as some data has not been entered. However, we can override this warning if all okay. Then enter your PIN to sign for the order. The medication will now appear on the patient's MAR for the nurses to administer. From the Orders screen, start typing fluids to locate the common IV fluid set. Click on it to reveal the IV options. Please note, you cannot order more than one of the same IV bags at the same time, unless you change the time for the second or subsequent bag to start. I'm going to demonstrate ordering 2 Hartmann's bags, with the second order starting after the first bag will be completed. Make your selection by checking the box. Then you need to enter the mandatory rate field. Next, select the start time for the bag. To order the second bag, click on the fluids heading again and select the same Hartmann's IV. Then enter the rate and update the start time to be after the first bag has ended. In this example, it will be 10 hours later. You can open the orders to check the other fields, or go ahead and submit these two orders on the top right. The IV bags will appear on the MAR with the start times as ordered for the nurses to administer. Please note, you can place orders for different infusions to run simultaneously. Patients transferred from the ward to ICU will require the ICU CMO to place the medications on hold and transcribe the required medications from Meditech onto the ICU medication paper chart. When the patient returns to the ward, the ICU CMO will either resume or stop the current medications in Meditech, add any new medications charted on paper, and cease the medications on the paper chart. For patients going to theatre from the ward CMO is responsible for placing the medications on hold and for resuming the medications in Meditech once the patient has returned from theatre. From the orders screen, to place a medication on hold, resume a medication or stop a medication, under the status column, click on the current medication status. Clicking on the status reveals a menu where we can hold, resume, or stop the medication. In this example, we will select to hold it. Once clicked, a calendar appears. You can select a hold date and time, or, as with this example, you can select Today Now. Then you can either enter a resume date or leave it and resume as required. Click Save on the top right. For this status change to be activated, you will need to click Submit on the top right and enter your PIN. The medication now displays as on hold in the status column. To resume a medication on hold, simply click on the hold status until the menu options appear and select Hold Resume. When the calendar appears, you can choose a date and time or select Today Now for the medication to resume now. Then save on the top right. You will need to click Submit and enter your PIN for this action to take effect. The medication status is now updated to active. If you need to do this for a multiple amount of medications, you can click Edit Multiple. Then select Hold Resume and place checks in the boxes next to the medications you wish to place on hold. When done, select the tick next to Hold Resume orders. When the calendar appears, you can choose a date and time for the medications to go on hold or select Today Now. And you can either enter a resume date or save and resume them when required. When you go to Submit on the top right, you'll see the number 5 as you are making 5 changes to medications. Enter your PIN to sign for the changes. The 5 medications will now display as on hold. And you can use Edit Multiple to resume these medications when appropriate. To cancel or stop a medication, from the orders screen, again you have the option to select one medication at a time or to edit multiple. To stop a single medication, click on the status and then from the menu select Stop. To proceed, you are required to select the stop reason. In this example, we're selecting No Longer Required. And please note there is also a free text option at the end of the Stop Reasons menu, if required. Then click Submit on the top right and enter your PIN to record this change. Once the screen is refreshed, this medication status changes to discontinued. To stop multiple medications, click Edit Multiple and then select Stop from the menu. Now, check the boxes next to the medications you wish to stop. Once done, go to the top left and click the tick next to Stop Orders. When the calendar appears, you are required to select a stop reason. Again, we're going to select No Longer Required. You can choose a date and time or select Today Now for the medications to stop immediately. Then click Save on the top right. Click Submit and enter your PIN to record this change. Please note in Meditech, until you've entered your PIN, nothing is recorded. After refreshing the screen, the medications will show as discontinued and will also display as discontinued in the patient's MAR. For the discharge routine, ensure your patient is selected, then select the Discharge button on the top black menu bar. The No Action table indicates these medications haven't been reconciled for discharge. Click on the red Discharge Medications text to start the discharge process. If the patient has any home medications, they will appear in the left column in this table. Medications appearing on the right are medications that have been charted since the patient has been admitted and have the heading Visit Medications. To continue a medication, click on Continue. Here we are continuing aspirin. Then you need to select the quantity. Here we're going to enter 14 tablets. You'll see a blue RX symbol appear, which indicates that you're ordering a discharge supply of this medication to be dispensed by pharmacy downstairs. Continue as many medications as needed, and you can also add a new medication by selecting Add New. Click into the search bar and select Click here to launch medication search. Then search the medication you wish to add. Locate it from the list and click it to select it. Click on the quantity, then select the number of tablets you wish to dispense. You can also put medication instructions into this field for the patient to read. They will be visible to the pharmacist. Click Q if you would like to add another medication, or Q and exit to return to the discharge procedure. If you click Exit, it will cancel the order. Here I'm going to click Q and Exit, as this is the only medication I'm adding. Review the conflicts here. Then to override, you can click on All Conflicts and MD OK'd. Then you can click Q and Exit. Click on Reconcile to return to the discharge routine screen. To add a PBS code for a subsidised medication, click on the grey protocol icon. Then select PBS Authority Streamline Code and enter the code for that medication. Then click Save and the PBS code will be applied to that medication. Preview your discharge script by clicking on Preview. We can see our two new medication scripts at the top of the screen. You can review the discharge conflicts by clicking here, or they will appear when you click Submit. When you are ready, click Submit. Then you can review and override the conflicts as needed. Then enter your PIN to sign for the orders. The discharge plan will display the scripts that have been ordered and sent to pharmacy to dispense. From here, you can simply save and close. From the Chris O'Brien Lifehouse home screen, go to the menu on the right and select Meditech User Guides. Then, open the link in red, eMeds User Guides and Videos. You can filter by column heading, for example, the user guide name or another heading such as the role. Locate one you wish to view and click on it. Each guide takes you step by step through the Meditech process for that feature. Please scan the QR code or click on the link below this video to complete your electronic prescribing acknowledgement form to enable prescribing in Meditech. That concludes this video. Thank you for watching.